I have compiled the dedicated struggles of Masashi Kishimoto sensei, who kept drawing manga until he ran out of chakra. Every manga artist goes through challenges, but his hardships are on a level that even doctors would be astonished by. So, let's dive into the 47-year journey of this genius, who created massively popular hits and became beloved as a mastermind. From a young age, Kishimoto had been drawing manga characters incessantly. However, during his middle school years, he diverted his attention from drawing to baseball. If we could go back in time to meet young Kishimoto during this phase, we might want to tell him that if he continued drawing, he'd get better at hitting the pages, not baseballs, quickly. Of course, he didn't become a baseball player, he continued on the path of drawing. And it was the presence of the sci-fi movie Akira, depicting Japan's near future, that ignited his passion. By chance, there was a poster of Akira at a nearby tobacco shop. Young Kishimoto was captivated by the poster of Akira. He stood there, immobile, for a whole hour. Interestingly, the poster of Akira depicted the main character walking towards a bike, showing the back view, and while this was an essential image catching the attention of many, the face of the character wasn't visible at all. Moreover, there's an episode where he drew 12 posters and turned them in defiance to his boss, which drew quite a reaction. It was an unusual composition at the time. Driven by an obsession to get closer to these futuristic and challenging poster designs, he began to draw. The madness-like passion for drawing persisted even into his high school years. He continued drawing manga alongside school lectures and assignments. However, even the manga he meticulously completed was ultimately rejected. Despite the setbacks, he persisted in drawing manga, and after 2 years of continuous effort, he finally received recognition by winning a commendation in the Hop Step Award, a stepping stone for young manga artists in the world of Weekly Shonen Jump. The name of the award might sound light, but it's where many famous manga artists have been recognized. From this award-winning piece, Karakuri, a battle manga featuring a group of cyborgs called Karakuri Tigers fighting dangerous artificial weapons, stood out with its exceptional art quality that didn't seem like the work of a newcomer. On the day of Jump's release, Kishimoto-sensei, looking at the announcement page for the award results, couldn't feel the reality of his achievement and even thought the artwork seemed familiar. Suddenly, the realization hit him, and in his excitement, he tossed the Jump he had with him as if he wanted to share the excitement with the world, throwing it across the street. This marked the true beginning of the legendary career of manga artist Masashi Kishimoto. But this wasn't just a legend, it was the start of a hellish legend. After graduating from university, he finally focused on manga and brought a meticulously crafted draft to the editorial department, laden with his chakra. However, the draft was rejected, with comments that it wasn't even a manga. The interesting part was that he had received a letter from the previous editor stating that he had talent, which made the gap even more bewildering and dealt him a significant blow. The cycle of submission and rejection continued endlessly. Yet, Kishimoto-sensei, with his unique determination, never let this crush his spirit. He went back to basics, embarking on a period of intense practice by creating single-page manga. He spent days at the library, reading books and materials related to manga and film production. Then he would move from library to bookstore, rental video shops, and movie theaters every day for nearly 2 years. Even when things seemed to be working out, they'd turn into challenges again, creating a life that resembled an exhausting journey. However, during this grueling period of apprenticeship, something remarkable was happening. The super popular manga's origins were taking shape. It was none other than Naruto, Kishimoto's first one-shot manga published in Weekly Shonen Jump after his university graduation. By the way, Akamaru Jump was a special edition of Jump that used to feature one-shot works of new manga artists. It was like a stepping stone where our Naruto made his debut. And 2 years later, the series was officially launched in Jump. Kishimoto's hard work was finally paying off. And from here on, you, who might think this is where the legend of Kishimoto starts. However, the true challenges were just beginning at this point. Finally, Masashi Kishimoto launched the immensely popular series Naruto. Even throughout the 15 years of serialization, Kishimoto-sensei mentioned that the initial stages of the series were the toughest. You might think, well, considering the struggles leading up to the serialization, this should be a piece of cake. But if you said that to Kishimoto-sensei, you'd likely be met with a stern look. Publishing one chapter within a week for a weekly series is incredibly demanding. And due to this rigorous schedule, something extraordinary started happening to his body. Whenever he submitted a manuscript, he would develop a fever, his body would reject food, and he couldn't even hold a pen. One day, when he went to the hospital due to an odd fever, he received a diagnosis unlike anything he'd ever heard. The doctor told him, "Your God cell is dying." You wouldn't expect to hear such a terrifying line in your lifetime, right? Naturally, the doctor advised him to take a break. But as a newcomer at the time, taking time off was out of the question. Moreover, Kishimoto's workload was even more intense than other manga artists. Even after submitting a manuscript, he had no time to rest. One day, after an all-nighter to finish a manuscript, he received a call from the editorial department saying they were ready for the next storyboard. That's when he realized how dire his situation was. During this period, Kishimoto had lost around 15 kilograms from his current weight. While his life might have been in danger, it's possible that his ordeal could inspire people to consider becoming manga artists as the ultimate diet plan. Ultimately, realizing the severity of the situation, his editor forced him to take a break for around 9 days. But within this hellish cycle, another challenge awaited Kishimoto: the simultaneous serialization of the mega-hit manga One Piece, which had been ongoing 2 years before Naruto. Both manga were battle fantasy series with power-based themes, and their genres overlapped significantly. To avoid reader overlap, differentiation was essential. Kishimoto came up with the idea of using colors for this purpose. You might have noticed that Naruto lacks a strong association with the color red. While there's pink and orange, bright red isn't prominent. This was intentionally done because One Piece featured a character using fire abilities. Additionally, one significant difference between One Piece and Naruto was the presence of a recurring home for the characters. The Straw Hat Pirates of One Piece embarked on adventures without a permanent base, while the world of Naruto featured villages where characters would always return after missions. By employing various techniques like colors and settings, Kishimoto aimed to differentiate Naruto from One Piece. Facing the challenge of having 2 mega-hits running concurrently in the same genre and time frame must have been truly daunting for Kishimoto. The fruit of his labor, Naruto, concluded its serialization in 2017. In 2016, a sequel, Boruto, which explored the future of the original characters, started serialization in Jump. However, for Boruto, Kishimoto didn't have to write and script the story himself. He finally got some breathing room. Yet, a few years later, another difficulty awaited him. In 2019, Kishimoto began serializing Samurai 8, The Tale of Hakamaru in Jump. This was a work where he poured all of his Naruto experience, packed with elements he loved and anticipated by fans. The comments like "Kishimoto's sense shines and I can't wait for the new work by Kishimoto-sensei" were overflowing, showcasing fans' high expectations for this highly anticipated new work. I'll provide a brief overview of the story. The setting this time is in space. The protagonist, Hakamaru 80, is extremely frail from birth. Removing a life support device his father built would result in his death within 3 minutes. Despite his usual immersion in games, he secretly dreams of becoming a galactic samurai of justice. This story revolves around his father's risky involvement in dangerous transactions to modify the life support system for Hakamaru's sake. With a unique blend of sci-fi and samurai themes, the story seems intriguing from its setting alone. Drawn in by Kishimoto's distinctive quotes and stunning artwork, I personally find myself rereading it multiple times. If you're interested in the continuation, I'll provide a link in the description for a free trial read. But here's a twist. Just 1 year after starting its serialization, Samurai 8 was cancelled. Although Kishimoto-sensei had commented that he expected it to surpass Naruto in due course, the intricate and complex world seemed to overwhelm some readers. Yes, Kishimoto-sensei, who had faced numerous challenges, is currently active as the scriptwriter for Boruto. Despite the potential for more ups and downs, considering his journey of hardship thus far, there might not be much left to fear. And with that, that's all for our introduction to Masashi Kishimoto-sensei. Tebeu.